Okay, it's 91X out here at Coachella, day number 2. It's Hilary, and I've been joined by Alaina and Patrick of tennis. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
So good. Thank
Good.
you.
Yes, thank you for being here. Have you played yet at the festival?
We played yesterday.
And how was it?
Amazing, actually.
Yeah.
A little chaotic, as I expected, because it's our first time doing
Okay,
it.
wait, right behind you.
Oh my gosh.
A roadrunner.
It's a roadrunner.
This is so magical.
Look at it
Oh
running.
my god.
Okay, sorry. I
Sorry.
have to explain. When we first sat down, we were talking about how beautiful this setting is, and I said, yeah, we just saw a roadrunner. And Patrick, you said growing up in Arizona.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 in my entire life, so this will be the third Roadrunner.
Can you
Lucky
get
3.
it, Rick, on camera? Did you get it? He's right behind
For all the
me.
fans at home, check out the
Check
Roadrunner.
out the room. I'm going to get out of the way. Can you see him right there? There he is.
Extremely chill.
Right? That's a roadrunner, right?
Like,
He's
knows we're on air right now.
He also is putting on
Yeah.
a show for us.
Yep.
He is. He's a pretty roadrunner. He knows it. All right. Continuing on with tennis. I just had to point him out.
I feel
That's
extremely
super
satisfied.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
that was amazing.
I wasn't full of BS. There
Oh,
really is a
so good,
roadrunner
yeah.
out here. So you guys are, well, if you're from Arizona, but do you live in Denver?
Yeah, we live in Denver now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I lived in Denver in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And are you either of you, you're from there?
No,
or
we both moved there when we were young enough that Denver feels like home, but
Okay.
neither of us have family there,
Okay.
or parents at least aren't there. So
Right
yeah,
on.
but I love it. We keep trying to move, and then we just end up back there 1 year later because we're like, I really love it there.
It's a
pretty
great
great.
city. Yeah, I lived kind of near Wash Park for like a year.
Absolutely.
And then I moved up closer to right off Federal, and
Yeah.
it was a little exciting.
Man,
but
I'm curious what those neighborhoods were like in the 90s.
yeah, the guy I was dating at the time bought a house for like $60,000 right
Yeah.
off Federal, and
Could not do that now.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure, I bet. And it was like, we're talking Denver, everybody, but Federal's like this street that, at least back then in the mid-90s, like lowriders would cruise it every Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so his street that we lived on, that his house was on, was like they wouldn't let you do a U-turn on Federal. So you had to go down a block over and then back up our street. And so we would sit on our porch on Sunday afternoons and just watch all the cruisers, and they'd like have to wait at the light and be like, "What's up?" It was
That's crazy.
I love Denver.
That's
yeah. Awesome. You guys have a very cool kind of band origin story, and maybe you want to start with how you met and go from there.
Of course. Yeah, Patrick and I met in college through the good fortune of him being extremely like astute, and he graduated in 3.5 years, but it took me 5.5. So we met in the middle. I'm older than him, so we never would have met if I hadn't drug out my college
Right.
endlessly.
I should also note that we both dropped out of music school.
Yeah, we're
and
music
both
school
switched to
dropouts.
philosophy, and that's where we met.
Really?
Yeah, we were both like getting like, I don't know, C's and D's in
It
our
just wasn't
music
working, yeah.
programs. Yeah, we like don't know technically what we're doing with music. We just like
Still
it,
don't.
clearly.
Funny.
Yeah,
So funny.
yeah.
So that's how you met.
Yeah, so that's how we met. And then we just went on some adventures together and figured out that we were a really good team and that we were good like companions and travel partners. We went on a huge sailing trip. That was like the biggest test of a relationship ever.
Yeah, we sold like everything we owned, saved up as much money as we could to just buy this small like 40-year-old sailboat.
Yeah,
And then
we
sailed.
swapped all of our material possessions for one boat. And we had one suitcase that we moved on with to our boat and learned how to sail and learned that we do well together in confined spaces similar to touring. So in a lot of ways, there's a lot of parallels, and I feel like it kind of prepared us for this lifestyle. We're kind of already used to being like nomads who live in a small metal tube.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we started making music much later in our relationship. It wasn't something that we learned about each other until later.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, neither of us were proud of the way that we were music school dropouts. So we didn't bring it up that often. Yeah, so here we are somehow like,
playing Coachella.
yeah, playing Coachella. I mean, every time something like this, like some monumental moment comes in our career, we're just like, how did we get here? I was the one who like failed my music program. Actually, one of my friends who was in my music department with me, who got an A and finished her degree in the music program, she's coming to Coachella next weekend, and that's gonna be, she's freaking out. She's very excited. And everyone's like, we never thought you would be the one here, Alaina. Like,
I love love that. So how did you go then from just like messing around, making music together, to getting signed to Fat Possum, or, to like, what was your first?
I always like narrow it down to this one day where it like the band switched from being a hobby to being like real. And that was when we had a few friends over and I showed a friend one of the songs we had been working on that we had literally showed no one. And he was like, this is amazing. Like, I have to release this. Like, I don't even have a label right now, but I'm going to make one and figure out a way to put this out.
Yeah, he used his own savings to press a 7-inch for us. And he was kind of connected in the DIY music scene. And he did like a touring circuit through the States playing DIY venues.
Nice.
So he was much more connected than we had never played a show or done anything. So we were totally out of the loop. And he was friends with someone from Gorilla vs. Bear, a music blog that has been like really supportive, that we loved. And they posted that song and it just kind of snowballed from there. I mean, it was kind of like timing, luck, and the support of our friends that made it work.
Yeah, but his name's Trevor Peterson.
Shout out to Trevor, just had a baby.
Trevor's the first person who ever like believed in us, and
That's
we
so
owe him
cool.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And then how do you go from a 7-inch, then you put out 2 albums on Fat Possum, and then we were talking earlier about Pat Carney from the Black Keys.
Yeah.
How did you hook up with him?
Well, we had the mutual connection through Fat Possum because the Black Keys had some records out on Fat Possum in their early days.
Yeah.
So we told Matthew Johnson from Fat Possum that we were really interested in working with Patrick Carney because he has the engineering credits for a lot of Black Keys records.
And he had recorded the same way we had. We recorded a lot of our early stuff on 4-track, and so had the Black Keys. The Blue Keys.
The Blue Keys, yeah. So, yeah, we just literally emailed him and were like, hi, you're great. Can you produce our record? And I remember we were like riding our bike down, like running errands, and then we got a phone call and we pull over on our bikes and Pat's like, hello. And he's talking, he's pacing. I'm like, who is it? And then he gets off the phone. He's like, it was Pat Carney. He's going to produce the record.
No way.
Yeah, it's
How
really great.
exciting.
And we've been friends ever since.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Patrick.
Oh, that's so
It's his birthday today.
That's right. Happy birthday, Patrick Carney. So let's fast forward a little bit then. Now you've got shows under your belt and a bunch of releases. And Conditionally Yours just came out, right?
Yeah. It just came out March 10th. And that's really surreal. This is the first record that we ever wrote and recorded, like self-produced and self-released on our own label.
Right.
So we did that because we wanted to have a lot of autonomy and a lot of freedom with the decision making, and we felt like if we kept it a little smaller and closer to our hearts, it would feel a little more intimate and joyful and natural. And I really want music to keep having that feeling that it did in our first year of DIY scenes, where everything was like a joyful discovery instead of like trying to claw my way to the top. It's like not my attitude.
That's
and
really smart, I think.
Thank you. I'm like, I can't have it if I have all that pressure on myself or even from other people. I just want it to just be out there in the world, and people will find it if they love it. And that's what I want, and that's what Patrick wants. So we decided to do this alone, and it's been really, really amazing. And every little achievement is just, we feel so much gratitude because we're like, I didn't know how it would go. Like playing Coachella on a record that we did alone and put out on our own label feels like, like icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations, you guys.
Thanks.
I love that. You have such a great attitude about it. It's really nice.
Yeah, it took a few years.
Yeah, it took a
We've
few years of like existential crisis.
Yeah, there's just so many feelings we've had with this band over the years, and like now I feel like we've come to a spot where we can appreciate everything and like see it through and know how to like operate in this world.
Yeah, this is a better way to be. Yeah.
Gotta feel really gratifying then.
It does.
So,
yeah.
So I imagine, your set is just joyful.
It is, exactly.
It,
yeah. And that's always how music has been, and that's how I want my experience of making music to be, just like a thing that I love, and that's it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
it does
exactly.
seem like that's how it should be.
Life is too short. Why do that to yourself?
But there's definitely a lot of stress around it in the music
I
industry.
know.
So good for you
Thanks.
guys. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Absolutely.
here at
Yeah, thank you.
It
Yeah.
was
And
so
we
nice to
got
chat
the
with you.
nature experience, which is
know,
amazing.
so glad
Not
that-
my usual radio time is seeing
Right?
like a rare bird. So
Yeah.
I'm super happy. Yeah.
That was a treat. Thank you guys. Patrick and Alaina from Tennis, live from Coachella. It's 91X.